In a quiet mountain village, there lived a young artist named Rian. His dream was to paint something so magnificent that people would remember his name for generations. But every time he looked at the works of other painters, he felt smaller. Their colors are brighter, their strokes are perfect, he would say. Why even try when I'll never be as good as them? Day by day, he stopped painting. Not because he lacked talent, but because he drowned in comparison. One afternoon, Rian went to visit the old master of the village, a blind sculptor named Aaren. Though Aaren had lost his sight years ago, his sculptures were admired across the land. Rian asked, frustrated, "Master, how can you create beauty when you can't even see it?" The old man smiled softly and replied, "Because I stopped trying to see what others see and began to feel what only I can feel." Curious and a bit skeptical, Rian followed Aaren into his workshop. There were dozens of sculptures there, some smooth and flawless, others rough and incomplete. The master placed Rian's hands on one of the unfinished figures and said, "Do you feel this imperfection? To the eyes it's ugly, but to the heart it's alive. You're chasing perfection when you should be chasing expression." Rian didn't understand. His entire life had been about being better than others, painting something that could outshine the rest. The master, sensing his confusion, told him to meet him the next morning by the lake. When dawn broke, Rian found Aaren sitting beside the calm water, listening to the soft breeze. The master asked, "What do you see in the water?" Rian replied, "My reflection, the sky and the mountains." Aaren then picked up a small pebble and threw it into the lake. Waves rippled across the surface, distorting the reflection. "Now," said the master, "can you still see yourself?" Rian shook his head. The master continued, "That is what happens when you compare yourself to others. Every time you do, you throw a stone into your own piece. You lose sight of who you are." The words hit Rian like lightning. For years he had been trying to see his reflection in waters disturbed by comparison. He spent so much time measuring his worth through others' success that he forgot the quiet joy of creation itself. "But master," Rian asked, "how can I stop comparing? The world never stops showing me who's better." Aaren smiled and handed him a small, unpolished stone. "Then polish this," he said. "Every day, work on it for 1 hour, but only focus on what your hands feel, not what your eyes or mind imagine others might see." Rian obeyed. Day after day, he worked on the stone, smoothing its edges, listening to the sound of each stroke. Slowly, something began to shift, not just in the stone, but within him. He started to paint again, but this time without seeking approval. He painted what he felt: the sound of the rain, the warmth of morning, the stillness of the mountains. And something miraculous happened. People began to love his art. They said his paintings carried emotion, peace, and life. But Rian no longer painted for praise. He painted for presence. Months later, he returned to the lake where his journey began. The water was calm, the reflection clear. He realized that the master's lesson had nothing to do with art. It was about happiness. The secret wasn't to be better than others, but to be true to oneself. Comparison had made him blind to his own gifts, but self-acceptance made him see again. He returned to the master, who sat in silence as Rian bowed deeply. "I understand now," he said. "Happiness isn't found in looking around. It's found in looking within." Aaren smiled, his eyes clouded, but his heart bright. "Yes," he replied. "The happiest people are not those who have everything, but those who make peace with who they are. The flower never compares itself to the tree, it just blooms." From that day forward, Rian taught others what he had learned. He would say, "When you stop comparing, you start creating. When you stop competing, you start living. And when you stop trying to be someone else, you finally meet yourself." Life lesson: Comparison is a thief of both peace and purpose. True happiness begins the moment you stop measuring your worth against someone else's reflection. You were not created to copy. You were created to express. Like the calm lake, when your mind is still, you'll see that everything you were searching for was already within you.